It is unbelievable what is happening in California right now. An American jewel of a city is in ashes. The Palisades area of Los Angeles is burning. House after house after house of one of our most precious areas is on fire. And residents have been under a mandatory evacuation order, including, folks who are my dear friends. One of my best friends is out there. Her house is gone. Brian Friedman, who was on the show yesterday, evacuated. These are our fellow Americans who have been forced out of their homes because these predictable Santa Ana winds came, and the local officials apparently would not do what was necessary to be done to protect the residents from the foreseeable risk of fire. There are 3 massive wildfires burning right now, being flamed by Santa Ana winds topping 60 miles an hour. It is so windy that firefighting aircraft are not able to fly in many cases. Nearly 100,000 people are under these mandatory evacuation orders. At least 13,000 structures are under threat. The video is absolutely horrifying. Take a look at this tape here as a fire swarmed a home in Los Angeles. For the listening audience, it is right outside this guy's patio. He's inside his living room, and the flames are right on the other side of floor-to-ceiling windows and sliding glass doors.
You gonna be okay? Hi? You gonna be okay? Oh, shit. Yeah, don't worry about that, dude. Look at that. Oh, shit. Scary, huh? Yeah. God. The plastic is gone, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The plastic is the least of their concerns at this moment. Okay, that gives you the flavor, but it is an incredibly dangerous thing to have been in that home at that moment. The person who shared the clip goes by Kevin Dalton. That's his name on X. That clip's already been seen more than 2 million times by early Wednesday. It was also used by the Daily Mail as their lead this morning. Kevin said in an update, "I am told the dog and both of his humans were able to safely evacuate the property." That's as much as we know there. Let's hope Kevin is correct. When you see the video, for the listening audience, you don't even know where these 2 folks who are talking inside and that dog are going to run. Where, the house seems to be engulfed. One side seems a little less engulfed than the other, but it makes you wonder how on earth this happened. But the winds take the fire so quickly from home to home, it can happen in an instant, which is why the cities issue these mandatory evacuation orders. The wildfires began so quickly that many, many people were caught off guard. And when the roadways became impassable, people just abandoned their cars to flee on foot. Look at this tape here. You see a bulldozer bulldozing the vehicles that were just left in the road out of the way so that, emergency vehicles and others can get through. One woman who abandoned her car told News Nation that police came up to her and said, "Get out of your car, run for your life, and head toward the ocean." You can believe it. Going back to that first video we showed, and if you're just listening, go check us out on youtube.com later. You'll see it right at the top of the show. You wonder, all I could think was just at least open the doors and let the dog run for his life, because a dog would know what to do. His instincts would take him away from the fire, and he could probably outrun some extent of it. Run toward the ocean seems like a good idea. Fox's Charles Payne tweeted out this photo and wrote, "I'm descending into LAX right now, and I can smell the fire. Many on this flight in panic or heartbroken, knowing their homes are already gone." And listening audience, what you see here is an aerial of Los Angeles up against the water. And the top third of the photo is in flames. The top third. If you've been to LA, and I know we all rip on California for all sorts of good reasons, but we actually love our brothers and sisters in California and absolutely don't want to see this kind of danger or carnage unleashed on them. And what you're seeing right now is part of one of our jewels. Yes, Los Angeles, which has got a long history and a beautiful one in many ways in this country, on fire and burning to the ground. It's the Palisades neighborhood. You got Venice, you got Santa Monica, you got Palisades. And the Palisades, I don't know whether they will still be there. when this is done. In Pasadena, senior citizens were rushed out of a senior living facility. Imagine this. Some still in their hospital beds. What were they going to do? What was the alternative? They had to get them out. As this fire rages, so does the anger among the residents who are saying that while wildfires are not uncommon in California, the state's disgusting mismanagement going back for decades is indeed partly to blame here for these fires not being better contained. The city's mayor, Karen Bass, is in Ghana right now. She's on her way back now, but she's not even in the country. The LA Times reporting that firefighters have been radioing their stations with reports that the hydrants were dry in the Pacific Palisades. Firefighters couldn't get water. It makes it really tough to fight the fires, especially when the winds are so bad that you can't take the aircraft up to do it from overhead. The fire hydrants were dry, which was a risk they reportedly knew about, a problem the city reportedly knew about, but failed to fix. Real estate developer Rick Caruso, who ran against Karen Bass for mayor, he called himself a Dem, but it was pretty clear this guy was about as close as you could get to a Republican in California running for office, right? You have to say you're a Dem to win for Los Angeles and mayor. So he called himself a Dem, but he was an independent, basically. He was an outsider. And the way he talked sounded much more red than it did blue. And he lost. Elon Musk had endorsed him, but that union vote came in late in the game, and before you knew it, Karen Bass had pulled out a victory. So Rick Caruso went on local TV and raged about this fire hydrant issue. Take a listen.
They can't fight a fire without water and the resources that are needed. Everybody knew these winds were coming. The real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spreads so quickly. And the second is, you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
The LA Times reported that in November, right, we're beginning of January, in November, the lack of water from hydrants was also to blame for the difficult efforts combating the mountain fire in Ventura County. They have been aware that there's an issue with the water not being in the fire hydrants. And what did the LA mayor do to protect her citizens? Well, we'll get back to you when she gets back from Ghana and someone has the chance to ask her. As if all of this is not enough, it turns out that in recent years, LA's fire chief has made not filling the fire hydrants top priority, but diversity. Diversity is at least among the top priorities for the department. Her name is Kristen Crowley. She's been fire chief since 2022. And in an interview shortly after she was elevated to this position, she talked about being super inspired to make the fire department more diverse.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. When it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department, she's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for me.
Who gives a shit if the fire chief is gay? I'm sorry, but who gives a flying fig about who she likes to sleep with? Can you fight the fucking fires, madam? That's the relevant question. We don't care about your lady parts, and we don't care who you want having access to them. Can you fight fires? Can you make sure there's water in the fire hydrants when you realize in Ventura County, this is a massive problem? When you realize that California is going through a drought where they haven't had rain in weeks and months, I don't care who turns you on. And you know why they have only 100 women in a squad of 3,300? Because women tend to be smaller and not as strong. And unless you lower the requirements to become a firefighter, most women can't pass the test. Trust me when I tell you that someone my size cannot run into a building and rescue someone even Doug's size. Never mind an Arnold Schwarzenegger, who actually happens to live in LA, or California at least. This is an absurdity. This is just like the Secret Service and what happened with Trump. We needed all these women in there who weren't even tall enough to protect the 6'3" president. Under this woman, Ms. Crowley, the department created a diversity, equity, and inclusion bureau to train firefighters not on refilling the hydrants or what to do when they're empty, but on the importance of DEI.
Our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau, now we actually have the staff to do the work when it comes to doing a deep dive in regard to how we do business, how we take care of one another in the fire stations and in our work environment.
We don't care. We don't care about any of that. I don't give a shit about how you're taking care of somebody inside the firehouse. Take care of me, in my home, and my kids and my animals when the fires hit. That's your real job, madam. You know how much my family and I love our dogs. Yes, even Strudwick. He was so sweet on our vacation. I can't imagine life without them. These guys have a great life, but some dogs are not so lucky. And this is why I'm so glad to tell you about Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. They have rescued thousands of dogs, plus cats and horses too. They provide all the animals with shelter and safety, and most of all, with love. And they've been doing it for more than 45 years now. Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions, and giving can bring tax benefits to you too. Speak with your estate planner about how you can grow your estate while helping animals in need. And check out the estate planning tab on their website to learn more. We love our Thunder and Strudwick, but would like for other dogs who need love to find it too. Visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.